that
Good.
it stopped it once,
You
from
could have
disconnected.
multiple issues
Right,
with the
right.
system. Yeah. So
But I think we're already back, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are already back.
Possibly.
Yeah, I guarantee you that. Just refresh.
Sorry, guys. We're just, struggling with our internet.
But yeah, anyways, the game petered out to a draw at this point. And then they just made an artificial repetition here, so they didn't have to get to move 40. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a pretty boring game. It seemed like Fallujah didn't do a lot of prep because Duda played the Nightorf in the previous game that he had black against e4. And then Fallujah was expecting that this game, but the Petrov threw Fallujah through a loop, and then he tried to play some non-theoretical way, but didn't really get too much of an advantage. Maybe at some point was very slightly better, but then yeah. Draw by jury duty, exactly. The worst in chess.
Yay.
Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you, the worst in chess. I'm going to have to figure out this internet situation. I guess I have to call him again.
Well, I noticed here that it's on this instead of the Wi-Fi now. I think it was still on the Wi-Fi when it was hardwired. Although it should automatically change,
Well, when I plugged it in, it looked like to me it was on.
Oh, yeah, it had this
was there.
icon?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't notice, I
Yeah.
guess.
That was the thing I looked for.
I like that icon. I know, solid. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to switch it. It just, it's when you plug it in, it just automatically is.
So here, we played h6, and then bishop b6. So Ding's doing nothing. Computer doesn't really love his moves. It wanted him to play some other way. It wants him to go here all the time. It's kind of weird to me. I wouldn't really do that. Anyways, he played h3, did Radjabov, making more pawn moves. Now he's losing, look. Rook d8 is unsightly, apparently. h3, a big mistake. Now hold up, though. So here's a point, is that if you, if Ding had played rook d8, you just move out of the way, hit the bishop.
Right, yeah.
But now he moved his bishop to safety. So now rook d8, if you move out of the way, I'll do something insane. I don't know what it is. Let's see. No, not really, right? Here? Yeah, h3 weakened the... This actually, I did this in a game once against FIDE master Andrew Karklins. He had this set up with white here, and then I played h5, h4, and broke down the dark squares, and he was like in trouble. I even won it. I ended up winning it because of that. He created a lot of weaknesses here, and I broke it with the h-pawn. So black should get some initiative here. I've said this the whole time. White's position's weaker. He did play rook d8. And now he has to be careful. He's in serious trouble now. He's in serious trouble here. Queen c2, h5 is a strong idea. A little probing move. I think he likes it. The worst in chess. Gifting a sub. Thank you, the worst in chess.
Yay, thanks, the worst in chess.
Yeah. Didn't imagine that. Well, there you go. Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I don't know why the sounds aren't working.
Yeah. Can Ding grind it out? I think he could. Will he? I don't know. He hasn't really been very impressive yet. But this could be his chance to turn it around and impress us by winning with black against the most solid player in the tournament. But yeah, Rajab. Oh, he did play queen c2. Yeah, now h5 is the move. Oh, rook c8? Engine like that. Oh my goodness. Are they really going to draw? No way, right? Ding's just repeating once, I think. He'll go back and then play h5 maybe. Or something else. Like, he doesn't have to repeat. He doesn't have to play h5 either. Yeah.
I'm going to take the mouse for 1 second.
Sure.
Just want to look at some.
Oh, the sounds.
Oh, that's just the social widget.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what was below it. That's pretty high too.
Mm-hmm. Naka messed it up already. Let's see. All right, we saw he played knight d2, which we didn't love, and then queen f6. Great defense. I mean, ever since he was losing, every move was perfect by Nepo.
Mm-hmm.
Every move, the only move. And this threw it away for real this time. He's still, like, pretty much winning, but he has to play it more positionally. Just here and there. And then eventually do it like this, right? He has potentially a passed pawn and a very active positional, ton of space. Black's pieces are... You can't even move the knight. But, yeah, I wouldn't think this is so winning, just much better. And you're right, it's the engine says 1.2, so... He wanted more than that, and he should have got more than that, but he messed it up earlier with knight d2, so he has to settle. But he's not settling. He wants more. I want it all. And then look, he earned his c6 square like a Catalan player. But, yeah, every single move's perfect by Nepo now. Right, Nakamura did all this to get his knight here, and then now he's like, what are you going to do now? I'm going to take it. So not the most efficient plan, yeah. Naka is in time trouble. He's got 12.5 minutes, so not desperate time trouble. He's just playing badly. He threw away all his advantage there. He didn't understand. He wanted to get this above all else. That's why he maneuvered around here. But now after bishop d7, what is there to do? So it wasn't efficient to play there. Mm-hmm. Right after I was saying he would do this great, and then he didn't. That's what I get for believing in Naka.
Hopefully this go out again. Damn it.
Oh yeah, might have, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it looks good. It looks good. Maybe this was another one. Wait, what's going on there with Fabi? What's going on there with Fabi? Draw. Wow. Okay, let's see what happened. King f2, that was a move. That was a move. Yep. Knight e2 is the only move. e5, the only move, exclam. The only move, otherwise he's losing. Now f5, with this threat, now he can perpetual the queen. That's the point. The queen is trapped here. On this diagonal. He can't go back, so it's perpetual. He has to draw. Yeah, e5 was a great move. Otherwise, he's losing. Forced to play e5. Very good defense there by Rapport. Well, it seemed like he was kind of on the offense, but both sides were attacking. But yeah, e5, great move. The only way to hold the position. He instantly played it. He already understood everything. And then a draw. So, a great game. I mean, if you look with the engine, it'll say all those moves were wrong, like in the middle game, but it's not exactly true. Nobody was ever winning or losing. And, you know, maybe white could have been a little better, or black could have been a little better, but it was so complicated that that hardly matters. An evaluation of half a pawn is meaningless in a position that makes no sense. Yeah, e5 was really nice. How's it going, Farty Party? Good to see you again.
Hey, Farty Party.
So, great play by both sides. Even though it was an early draw, it's only move 24. I don't think that the spectators will be too disappointed. Both sides playing very creatively.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting game.
Yeah, anything could have happened here, but both sides kept it. You know, it's like those, when the guy's got, he brings volunteers onto the stage.
Yeah.
And they spins the plates on. Yeah, he has to walk around spinning all the plates, making sure they don't fall. That's what this game was like.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
Yeah, both sides kept it in control there.
Yeah, that was an interesting game, so I can't complain.
But sometimes I still do. Okay, so now that it's equal, now Nepo played inaccurately. queen d6. Probably not a big mistake, huh? It wanted this. Instead, it's 0.09. 9. But basically dead even. Hikaru's like shaking his head. Oh, frankly. Terrible. Yeah. They're even repeating, huh? They're even repeating. Hikaru's pretending like he's not going to draw. Well, like he's shaking his head as like he's accepting that he's going to draw. Even though he doesn't have to. G3, white's better. So he could play G3. But he is a little low on the clock. He's got under 10 minutes. He's got to make 9 moves, really. 9. So, yeah. He might accept the draw for that reason. But he's even here still better. But yeah, I was expecting Hikaru to do better than this in this game. But the defense was immaculate there by Nepo. And that's what, a lot of people watching the World Championship match don't seem to understand. Is that, like, when Magnus was winning, Nepo would play so Magnus only had one way to win. And then Magnus would find it. But not everybody does that. All the time. 5 games in a row. Or whatever it was. So it's tough. Even the game, remember when he took the pawn and his bishop got trapped? Even that game, there were like only moves every move, pretty much.
Yeah, I can't recall the game. I didn't see all the games
against Magnus.
Either. I didn't see everything, but darn, this keeps crapping out.
So, yeah, he's still pondering. I think he's just gonna draw. He's just gonna repeat. This is play acting. That's just that's my interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Did something happen in the other game?
Yeah, let's take a look at this one. He did play h5. Yeah, nice. So he repeated once. And now if here he could have claimed a draw. Wait, is that true? No, not even. But if here, then Radjabov could have said, I'm going to play here, claiming a draw. So he couldn't repeat again if he wanted to keep playing. So he played h5.
Okay.
And now, great move. Just like the game Karklin's Feingold. Feingold S. Also, Karklin's A because his dad just played too.
Oh, that's funny.
And, yeah, I did this and I broke him down. That's what Ding's going to do. It's even, like, pretty close to winning. But, yeah, this position's been shaky for white for a while. So, no surprise that the engine moves here are terrible. Terrible. He did it, but terrible. He gives this up. He puts his pawns all on dark squares. This is all started by h3. If his pawn is on h2, you could do this, but, you're protecting it, so. But, yeah, h3 was the culprit. Always repeat. Also, here he could have not repeated. He could have gone there, which is a better move. But Ding knew he would repeat. Because always repeat. And then he did go here. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough move to have to play. Now, Ding's a big favorite to win this. But when the guy's 2750, he can defend. So it still could be a draw. Yeah.
Somebody questioning via text whether Ben's really on jury duty. He's on jury duty.
Yeah. Yeah. What, you were watching the Magnus commentary instead of us? What are you doing? Crazy. Naka decided to go for the draw. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that, actually.
No. At this point, I knew he would. He's given up. He knows that his plan was not right.
Right, yeah.
He's getting up. He's mad. He's like, why isn't Nepo here to accept this draw? Frankly, I have to stand up and put my jacket on to get his attention.
He's shaking his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of, I've had that before when I wanted to either resign or repeat.
Right.
And my opponent was nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to resign, you can always resign. You know.
Well, I mean, if they come back and you're not there, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, but what do you suppose? You have to sit there, you know? You can end the game. You can resign whenever you want. You know?
I've never heard of anybody doing that. I guess it probably has happened. Certainly, you're not forced to sit there for hours.
I have to sit there? Like, come on, I resign. I leave.
Most
then they
people
did
would
draw,
wait.
yeah. Yeah, most people would wait. Hey, look, it says, look at this. It says the game ended by threefold repetition, and it gives the positions that, with the arrow,
Nice.
are the same.
I didn't know that it did
Yeah.
that. Maybe that's a new addition to their interface.
Right, it must be, yeah. Do the Naka resign? How does he resign? Frankly, I'm terrible. Today's Wordle was the worst. I mean, it was really awful. I think I figured out what the word was from that sentence.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did it already.
So, yeah. Draw. No, Naka really messed that one up. He had a great position. And Nepo defended perfectly, as you'd expect, but he couldn't Magnus it away, could he?
Mm-hmm.
So now, this is the only chance for a decisive game now. Crazy. You'd think that Fabi and Rapport could have been decisive. Naka should have beaten Nepo. Well, Faruja Duda was always seemed like it was most likely to be a draw all the time. But could have been decisive even. But now, we're left with one. And it's the player who, well, I wouldn't say he wants to win the least. Probably Radjabov. The two players who want to win the least. Here. Radjabov and Ding. Maybe Ding will miss this, right? He'll be like, knight here, and then Ding will be like, what? Idiot? Hung that knight? Oh! That's what it'll be like.
Ding's accent sure changed a lot.
Right. Yeah. It's like from New Jersey now. So the engine move is back here. Wow. Didn't he just go there?
Yeah, that's weird.
Knight g4 is a good move too, but after here it wants to go back, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in fact, if you don't go back, you're not better. This is the second best move and it's close to equal. So Ding already messing it up, making us have 4 draws. Ah, dang it.
No,
Yeah.
it says black's still better.
Well, but he has to play knight f6. He has to go back. Yeah, that was a big draw for Nepo. He hunkered down and found the best defense. Really, queen d3 was a good move to make it so the win wasn't obvious. He did play knight f6. Exclam.
Mm-hmm.
Even it's blue in chess.com because they know it's exclam. So he still has a chance to win it. Yeah, he's still much better, close to winning. Always. Queen c2 is the best move anyway, so Ding didn't care. Because the e-pawn is hanging, so you might as well defend it. Now rook c8's the best move according to the engine, but he's got other options like rook d7 as well. It is kind of tough to make a lot of progress with black here. I mean, what is the plan?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Where would I go?
He doesn't want to move any of the pawns. He's going to have to get something going without a pawn break. But the position's pretty open, so he might be able to get in on, like, this diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
If he can get something working here with the queen, bishop, and knight, he could try to get some initiative on the king side. But it's going to take some maneuvering. He's got some maneuvering to do. Yeah. I'm walking here. So that's the engine move. Now queen d3 is the best move. But hey, after you move your queen, he can play knight g4, and then you can't play queen c3 anymore. To make me play knight f6 again. So that's kind of nice by Ding. He repeated. I like how he repeated with his rook, and then with his knight. And then he put his rook there again, and he's going to put his knight back again. Yeah, I think he'll play knight g4.
I think so too.
Yeah, really, really like, poking and prodding the opponent here, showing him that he's in control of the position. I can repeat whenever I want. I can make an improving move and repeat. And then h5 and repeat more. I like it. That's how you do it. Show him who's boss, Radjabov, I don't know. Is he going to hold? That's a good one. That's a good question. I mean, maybe. Mm-hmm. He's pretty good at defending. But I don't know. I think Ding's really happy.
Yeah. Hey, Dev.
Good old Dev. 97, it's difficult to improve, but you'll play knight c6 probably. Also, one thing about knight on e7 is that it's, it's sort of holding white back. White's less likely. I mean, white's never going to play this move anyway, I guess, but gives up d5. But even f5, my knight controls that. So if white ever wants to get aggressive, the knight is preventing. But anyways, I mean, white has no, justification for active play. He doesn't deserve to be active here. He's too weak with all the pawn moves he made. He moved every single pawn this game. He moved all 8 of his pawns. You don't see Ding doing that. Solid. Solid as a rock. Yeah, Hikaru messed it up pretty bad. I think he did bring the secret document, but he didn't need it because he's not on trial. So he doesn't need that fifth.
Yeah, Tucker Tommy, I think that Magnus watches the tournament somewhat.
Is that a joke, Tucker Tommy? I mean, of course he is. Keeps up with the candidates? I think he'll keep up with whoever's going to play him next, potentially.
One thing I was surprised to learn about Magnus was I learned it from actually Andrea Botez at the Las Vegas Chess Festival. She had a meet and greet, and she sort of spoke to the audience for a little bit, and she was talking about how they came about collaborating with Magnus. And one of the things that she said she was surprised to find out when they were talking with him, her and Alexandra, is he gets on the streams a lot and lurks. Mm-hmm. So he's actually gets on Twitch a lot too.
300 bits by Barely a GM. He did draw like a grandmaster. That's true. Thank you, Barely a GM.
He says he keeps up with the games.
Yeah.
Oh, he just got on the Chess 24 stream.
I mean, of course he keeps up with the game. Even if he doesn't play, he's going to keep up with the games.
Magnus is actually Yabba Dabba Doo.
That would be funny.
That would be true genius if
yeah,
he
I would
were.
never expect that. Never in a million years. Yeah, Naka messed that one up. Yeah, if Nepo gets to play Magnus, he's certainly not the favorite. That's for sure.
Yeah.
B4. That's the engine move too, but it's like, how many pawns are you going to put on dark squares, right? Honestly. Terrible. Very anti-positional stuff. In fact, why did he really have to do that? I can't really find a great move here, I'll admit. Yeah, I guess he wants to play b4, knight b3, right? He could try to pretend like his knight can move and his queen can move. They can't, but he could pretend like they can, So I like it. Yeah, b4, the engine move. All right, but now that Radjabov has to defend, he'll defend well. Much like Nepo.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's how they do it. They don't like to lose. Wait, I don't understand. He has to go to Brazil and give you money? He has to do both those things? I thought, you would give him money to go to Brazil. Yeah, White's position is terrible, yeah. He's got problems and not a lot of active play. So that's tough. That is true Pandemonium. Trying to learn. King F8, I mean, he could do that, but Black can even play improving moves, like, if he wants. Yeah, well, Knight G5 and then E5 is illegal. But anyways, he doesn't want to play Knight G5 anyway. I mean, he doesn't want to play E5 anyway. Because he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to put all his pawns on dark squares, although he is doing that. But he doesn't want to keep doing it, I guess. And then give this up.
Right, knight comes in.
Yeah. And queen is better. I mean, everything's good then. So he's going to need to keep this pawn here for the foreseeable future. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, not that I have a lot of constructive ideas for white. Really. I mean, black could... Well, even for black, it's tough, too. Because, like I said, the pawn breaks are, like... You know...
Mm-hmm.
How they found this position? Well, they're playing chess, you know. But I might do a little bit of a roundup of the other games in a minute. Queen d7 was the engine move.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I saw that.
Pinning it.
Yeah, I agree. Like in a minute, yeah, we can do a little recaps.
Yeah, we might be able to wait till them to get to move 40.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got some time, though. But we got time. You know, we got time. Let's see what my phone says about it. Yeah, I have 6 lessons today.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons. But yeah, Wednesday's usually my busiest day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another doctor's appointment later that I had moved to 3:30, so it should be good.
Rook d2. Yeah, unpinning the knight. And, well, that's it, but it's good enough for a move, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the engine wants him to go back to b7 now, even though it said queen d7 was the best move last move. Crazy. Instant rook c4. Yeah, not the engine #1 move, but pretty good. Now hold up, it's a trick here. Huh? It's some kind of a trick? Knight f5? He has to play it, in fact. Attacking that. Right, and if you trade queens, intermezzo. Now you would take this, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Check, right?
Oh, mess up their pawns a little bit first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could just play some move. And then takes check, you know? But this runs into blunder, I guess. Maybe not. Anyways, the engine says this is a draw. But not check. We should go here, obviously. Even this is a draw, because he split the pawns. But black's better here. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't matter too much, right? If these are here. You know, here it would be better, obviously.
Yeah.
So he has to play knight f5, though. Otherwise, he's not... Otherwise, he's lost. Queen b1, the second best move, it's lost. I mean, not immediately, but Knight f5 gets out of the issue. Really. Ellie Razor Drew. No, knight f5 is not difficult for Radjabov to find in any way. I mean, I would guarantee him to play it, honestly. But he might see the variation and think it's good for black is the only hang-up. He could see the line, and then... I mean, knight g6 is kind of important, honestly. So he has to see that move. Well, he doesn't really have to, but that helps out a lot. Because even knight g6 wasn't the... You could have taken back and not did that second intermezzo.
Right.
But I can promise you one thing. He sees that this is an option.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know for sure.
I agree. I don't think that's hard to see.
Yeah.
I mean, even for my level, it's pretty common.
Right. But if he plays it right, that's still pretty good defense. It's not clear at all. So let's see if he does it. Yeah, the engine hates rook c4. It's orange.
Mm-hmm.
Ding's first mistake this game, really. He played it more or less flawlessly the entire time with black. But now look at him. What was the best move instead? Yeah, it wants rando moves, like queen back to b7, which doesn't make sense. You just go here and repeat the position. But knight c6 is an option. Knight c6 is an option. Perhaps Ding didn't want to just trade the knight away, though. Because he was, like, looking at the pin.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the pin was broken, so... This is the engine line. It likes black quite a bit. I mean, this is annoying, but I'd feel like if I could escape and not lose anything, that white should be okay. Yeah, now you are losing something, finally. Even here, I could take... No, wait. Then takes. Or even b4? No, this would win, because then this is hanging. So yeah, if here I could take it. But it doesn't do that. It plays knight b2. Right, it doesn't do this, it just defends. Yeah, because this is losing, right? This variation loses. Then I'll go here. Also, you could improve like this, though. Now you have to go here. Like, this probably loses. But anyways, the move was probably knight c6, but he didn't have to. He could have done, like, some... Even queen a7 was a move. So he didn't have to do anything. But this move allows the trick. Whereas... I was just wondering, like, if I went here, then, okay, there's no threat. So this is a threat right now. I mean, an equalizing threat, or a trading threat, to not be in this pin.
Right.
You know, which he just broke. So he has to find a way to stop it. This didn't do it. Then he did play knight f5. Did he? I don't know. Let's refresh. I'm getting confused here. The notation was all crazy.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, but okay, he didn't play it. Yeah, it was just a chess.com freakout. Classic chess.com freakout. Yeah, he's still thinking, so he might just bang it out after... He's got 15 minutes still, a little over 15 minutes, for only 5 moves.
American fans would want this game to be a draw, correct? Well, no, I'm not sure why we'd want it to be a draw.
Oh.
I mean, it probably is going to be a draw.
So that Fabi and Naka have more of a chance of winning, I guess?
I guess. I don't ever think of it that way. I just have my favorites and hope they do well. Ding is one of my favorites. I like Ding, and in this tournament, Ding and Hikaru and Fabi.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when it gets closer to the end, I might want a result. But I don't feel that way personally at this point in the tournament.
Knight f5, knight d5. Wow.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I didn't expect that one.
I know they're the bottom two, but Ding is one that I like.
And one problem with your line is that g7's hanging. I just take it. And then also, by the way, if I go here and then just move my knight away, oh, you'll play knight e3 check. Yeah. So I would have to do this just to win a pawn, because you could play check and trade queens. But yeah, knight f5, knight f5 is pretty good. Who would have thought? Nobody. Wow. Nobody who's not subscribed with that emote.
Right.
Knight f5 emote.
I guess there's no update from Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some phone calls. Didn't I can hear it?
Well, this isn't even necessarily a win for black anymore. But even here, like if he played, knight c6 and they did the trading line and such, black's position is just great, in part because of the knight on f4 or g4, but also because white had to put all these pawns on dark squares, where black doesn't have to do that, and the dark square bishop is really good for black. And white has a lot of weaknesses because he pushed every single pawn on the board. Whereas black's king is much safer because he didn't do that. So white just has long-term positional problems the whole game. And it's horrible to have to play that way. But he can solve some of them tactically now. In which case, he's still a little worse, I guess, but...
Mm-hmm. Ben is not really on a jury, per se, at this moment. He's... The first step is always you wait in a waiting room, playing on your phone for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're still not sent home, then you might be told some stuff and questioned by the lawyers and then selected or rejected. So I don't know where he is in the process. But probably just being selected.
Or rejected.
Or rejected.
Right.
Right, trying to learn. That'd be funny if it were Trump related.
Not yet, Squang.
Still not back, Squang. I got rejected one time after the lawyer questioned me because I had been held up at gunpoint and it was a murder trial. I was so relieved that I didn't have to spend, potentially weeks on the situation.
Yeah.
Jury duty is as long as it takes. I mean, it can go weeks if you get selected. Months, I guess.
You can see how another game can do a quick recap.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, this game's pretty short.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Fabi against Rapport. Rapport played his sort of Taimanov, Paulson, Sicilian. And Fabi thought for a long time here, like over 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes, and played g4. It's a move, but weird for him to think for so long about it. Especially since Rapport played sort of like this in round 1 against Duda. Oh, it was different, but Duda played bishop f4. Yeah, knight b3 is a good move, and knight a5 is a pretty good move too. Black doesn't mind to trade the knights, which is what white's avoiding, and black's insisting upon. It insists upon itself. Then he can get out his pieces in this fashion. Yeah, the engine was critical of every move almost, but I don't think they were so bad. Like here, for example, it wanted f3, so that after here, it'll castle. This is the move that black wants to play, of course, is d5. And then after here, it'll discovered attack. Even after you move the queen, it plays here, ignoring this, so it can sacrifice on b5 and get knight d6 check, and then also king b1, always play that to stop rook a1 as a counter idea. So this line was totally nuts, and even still not necessarily winning. Like knight d5 might be okay for black. So Fabi didn't do all that. He didn't allow d5. He just played bishop g2. Another typical point of playing an early g4 is you play bishop g2 in a Sicilian. This is a really interesting move, rook f1. He wants to push the pawn. He wants to answer this move with bishop h1. And he doesn't really want to castle kingside, because then, you know, black will eventually get some pawn breaks going and attack you with all of his pieces. With this many arrows, you know you're in trouble. So he just played rook f1. This is a good move to go here. The engine wanted Fabi to just go for it and allow him to check and win a pawn. But Fabi didn't want to do that, so he played here, blocking it. But now Raport's counterattack on the queen side was pretty quick. There it is. Rook d1, also an engine move. And by the way, bishop c6 was to guard b5 and d7. That was a good move by Raport. And now he's got his queenside counterplay in full swing. Double attack. And now the game got extremely tactically oriented after this. Takes. And then a3. Black gives up the kingside entirely. And here comes the counterplay. Fabi found the most testing way. He played king f2. Not the only move, but now you have to play ab, sort of. Have to play it. And then after knight e2, Fabi's point is I'm going to play here, just winning. Just winning. And then you can't do this. You know, even if you try some chicanery here, I can play rook b1. No problem there. So this is a big threat, and Raport instantly played the only move, e5. Great move. The point is to stop the queen from escaping, so that after you do your thing to win material, which this would win material, black can perpetual your queen because it's trapped there. You can't play queen takes here, which would be winning because the knight's hanging and the rook would be hanging. So this e5 move was necessary and already anticipated by Raport because he just quickly played it in the game. They agreed to a draw. Well, they repeated they can't agree to a draw. So really sharp game, really interesting. The engine doesn't like a lot of the moves, but I think that overall it was just fine, and nobody was ever winning, and the game is too complicated, even for the engine, unless you are sitting there and waiting for depth 50 all the time.
So, Fabi, I'm asking a question, I guess.
Sure.
He saw CE5,
Oh, probably, yeah, right.
and so he knew that it was just going to be a draw already at that point?
Well, he probably thought that he would win here, but then he noticed e5. Because there's no threat for black now.
Right.
And this is a threat, and you can't do anything about it. Except e5. So yeah, he probably, even Fabi probably anticipated it. Even though he didn't need to find the move, right?
Right.
But he still could have, yeah.
But that prevents him from continuing with his attacks. I didn't know if he was like, oh, crap.
Right, it could have been he thought he was winning here, yeah.
Right.
Right. But obviously Raport had to have already seen that, or else he wouldn't have played queen a5 even.
True, yeah.
And yeah, Raport did think for 16 minutes on the move, so yeah. Nice game.
Yeah, I did like that game. I thought it was an interesting game.
Mm-hmm. It was winning, except for one thing, right? I like the money pit, right?
Yeah. It's nice that Spencer's a master.
Yeah. Now, hold up. Look what had happened here. After this, he didn't play the only move after thinking about it forever. Almost 17 minutes. This is the only move, and then... yeah, it was like this. Yeah, or even this, right? They're both actually okay for black. But instead of all that, he played queen e2. Now he's lost again. Queen b7, best move. I love how Ding keeps doing this too. He goes here and then there and then here and then there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. And then he moved his knight around and around, and he moved his rook back and forth 10 times. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I mean, sure, knight f5 was, you know, a quirk there, but other than that, it was a really nice play by Ding. And even Radjabov, he ate up a lot of time on deciding not to play knight f5, which was the move. So now he doesn't have a lot of time, and he has a terrible position. That's a bad combo. Oh, James, because you could even play rook b1 there. Or also, queen a1 doesn't threaten anything, right? I could just ignore you. But yeah, rook b1 even blocks the pawn. Right, yeah, now, because he moved the queen, right, knight f5 makes no sense, yeah. Exactly. Queen takes rook. The rook was defended by the rook, James. The rook was defended. Okay, but I mean, I'll take your knight. I'll take your other rook with check. I'm taking all your stuff. Yeah, no, you're losing all your pieces there. You're losing. Also, rook a1, I could play at the end there. I could play rook takes, b takes, and then queen takes. Unless this was after e5, but... Yeah, no, I'm playing f takes g, and I'm going to win your rook. I'm winning everything, and when you queen, I'll just take it with my rook. So, I'm going to win material there just by playing f5 and taking on g6 like normal. Yeah. There's how many rounds in the candidates? Well, it's 8 players, and it's a double round robin. So 14. Yeah. Yeah, the queen was on the diagonal there too, right? On g7. Yeah. Caruana, right. Do math. I'll never do... Oh, I was telling him to, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Let's see, it's 12:40.
Shorty.
And I am hungry.
Yeah, me too. That's why I have a bag of chips. Little chips.
We could potentially eat somewhere
Oh, yeah?
when this is done.
Well, this game might never end.
Right.
I am my own worst enemy, though. Classic song, right? My own worst enemy. You know that one?
How does it go?
It's terrible. It's like, you know, please tell me why. Something, 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 and then something else. I don't know the lyrics. But that is the tune of it. That is the tune.
Wait, what's the name of it again?
My own worst enemy. Yeah, my car is in the front yard. That one, yeah. Donkel.
I do know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty famous one.
Yeah.
A lit reference. Yeah, that's true. Pretty lit. Sleeping with my clothes on. Right, I need the chat to tell me the lyrics. Right, the band is lit. That's true. It's literally, because that's their name. Yeah, it does sound like that, and it is truly horrible, Kangaroo. Well observed. Came in through the window. Classic song. Now, anything is good. The engine likes this move. I don't know why. What does it do? Yeah. Why doesn't Rapport play knight b3? Because he's not playing anymore. But Radjabov could. Maybe Rapport will make the move for him. You know, Radjabov will be like, what? Trying to play here.
So what do you think the result of this game will be?
That's close. You know, I guess... I mean, he's winning. Is Ding. I mean, Ding's winning. not really much of a winner, though, is he? I don't know. I guess he'll win. I mean, he has to win eventually, right? So he'll win. He'll win it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I just don't see a way to win it.
Well, I mean, it's, it's not immediately winning
down.
right now. All right,
Yeah.
you got to just keep playing.
Little tiny moves.
Yeah, Hikaru spent all of his resources to play knight c6, and then after bishop d7, he's like, I guess that wasn't very good. And then he wasn't winning anymore.
That's what I was just saying, is what was the idea for Ding to win. Sounds like it's going to be slow and incremental.
Yeah, I mean, he can't really make a pawn break, right? So he's going to have to maneuver a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't infiltrate with his rook, which is too bad. He could target this, but it's been defended quite a bit. I mean, I think he should maneuver this. Oh, he never played f6, right after I said he'd win. Wow. So, I mean, this pawn's hanging, but at least this is hanging, so that's probably not a problem. Also, maybe even knight e3 check is a good move. So, I guess he probably won't take. f6 is an engine-approved move, though. So, pretty good move to play with the time situation. Radjabov's got to find a few accurate moves here. And the knight move kind of... the pawn move kind of, corrals the knight a bit there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. About Hikaru calculating that. And now Radjabov's turn to suffer here. Will he defend like Nepo? Or, will he defend like Radjabov in round 2? Where he lost, I believe. It was round 2. Against Hikaru himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, the engine moves king h3. I don't think he'll really want to play that. I'd be afraid of, getting forked eventually, if I play king h3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Rook e2 is a move. Yeah, that's the move he played or he was... Yeah, he could just repeat, yeah. Like that. Just do nothing. Very difficult to play that way, though. With no time, too. Yeah.
So why king h3? To get off that diagonal?
Oh. Gotta nuke something. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Thought I heard a noise, but it didn't show up, so... But it's okay, yeah. I don't know. I mean, king h3 maybe, just to get out of here, right, like you said, but don't really think he'd want to do that. I think he'll just play here. Do nothing, right? Do nothing kind of move. He didn't play knight f5. Yeah, that's true, as you predicted. He must have been afraid of some line there. He probably calculated the trades and thought black was doing great. That's just what I would presume. And maybe he thought he's not doing that badly here. He's just under pressure and he can defend. So he doesn't need to have a worse endgame and try to hold that. I don't know. I don't know what he thought.
Mm-hmm.
The knight f5 wasn't super obvious to see how that is all working. So he could have thought anything. All draws, James. All draws. They're on move 38. This is going to be his 38th move. So he has to make 3 more moves. This one, 39, and has to make move 40. And he's only got 2 minutes for those 3 moves. And it's not an easy position to play.
Right.
So this is going to be difficult for white. So my prediction of Ding winning, once he got a winning position, it might hold up. Unless it doesn't. I don't know. He could also consider a move like knight h2, like get rid of this horrible knight on g4. But this knight's going to be upset about that, you know? He needs his bro to defend him.
Yeah, I was looking at knight h2 to get rid of that annoying g4 knight.
He did play king h3, the engine defense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. There's not increment until move 60. Ding looking pretty serious in the webcam. Ding is pretty serious.
Yeah. He's a very polite fellow.
Mm-hmm. I don't really think Ding was jet lagged too much, you know. I mean, all the players, most of them are flying, you know. And he flew further, but he could arrive earlier. In theory, at least. Maybe not in practice. But yeah, everybody plays worse in the first round or two of such a tense tournament, you know. You're not going to play it at your best, like, immediately. Yeah, and in the first round, we saw many more mistakes, and the only time it was 2 decisive games, right? Yeah, the first round was the only round with 2 decisive games.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what is the format. So they don't have increment till move 60.
Right.
So it's G120.
Mm-hmm. And then they get more time at move 40. Like an hour more, maybe? I don't know.
I think you're right. Maybe I did hear that.
And then they only get like 15 minutes more at move 60.
Plus the increment.
Yeah, plus the increment starts,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were right. Look, Adam said so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, game in 20, 40, and 60. And then at 60, 15 plus 30, yeah. A complicated format, I would say.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Plus, like, if you're a player playing in the game, you don't have to take notation, right, when you have 5 minutes or less. So, I mean, until you get increment. So, like, it's almost like, how do you know that you made move 40, right?
Well...
The clock could add the time. Some clocks don't, but I guess these do. Some clocks you have to get to 000 before the extra hour starts.
Right.
Which is kind of weird.
The DGT blue clock's like that.
Right.
So it is very strange.
Yeah, I think they should definitely have increments. I agree with that. The clock might show the number of moves. Okay.
Yeah, there could be a move
That's
counter.
true, yeah.
I think the red ones might. But
yeah, there are ways around that problem.
But they wouldn't not notate because then they can't claim a repetition if you don't have notation.
Well, right, but they might not notate if they have 30 seconds and they have no increment, you know.
No, I was speaking to the thing before when you were saying how would you prove moves with no notation.
I was just wondering how they would even know that they got to move 40. Like, how would they know that they don't have to keep playing quickly?
Right, I would think the notation.
Right, but if you have 30 seconds, you might not take notation if you have to make 5 moves in 30 seconds.
Oh, when they've added on the second part, what is? Let's see, it's plus 60. I don't know. I don't understand the point you're making.
Okay, so it's move 35.
Yeah.
And you have 30 seconds left with no increment. Are you going to take notation for the last 5-6 moves of the game, or of the time control?
I'm not sure what the rule is for this particular tournament.
Right.
But I would think that it's required. But if you don't take notation, then you don't have a way to prove any kind of repetition or anything that occurs.
Yeah, right. That's not really what I was talking about, but yeah, that is true.
Well, I thought you were acting like it was an option to not.
Yes.
Right.
But I'm not talking about proving anything.
Right.
Obviously, if you don't have notation, you can't prove anything, right? But my point is, like, if I didn't have a lot of time, if I'm not required to take notation, I don't.
Right, yeah, that's true. If you're
I don't.
certainly
I'm
flagging,
pretty sure most people don't.
certain flagging or not flagging is
Yeah.
going to take priority over.
But I would hate it if I
notation.
was like, it was move 35, I wasn't sure, like, what move it was, because I'm not taking notation. And I'm like, oh no, do I have to keep playing fast, or did I make it to move 40? But, like, if the clock says it's move 40 or move 41,
Move
I'm like,
counter, yeah.
yeah.
And they might have some rules in place about it.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the rule is you still do have to take notation. That could be the rule. Well, it's very strange to not have notation or not have increment and force notation.
That's true. That is odd.
I mean, that's like pretty rough. So he played e5, very anti-positional move. I've always hated that move. But I guess he thought because f6 I can start doing stuff now. The engine gives it a red blunder, although the evaluation dipped, Actually, king g2 is the only move, or else. He's stopping e5, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's stopping. e5 is the second best move, in fact. So, yeah, with no time on the clock, Radjabov makes an inaccurate defense here. Second best defense. And it's already -5. f5 is the move. Yeah, just positionally winning, right?
Right, yeah, that looks bad.
Yeah, just keep it all locked down. All of white's pawns on a dark square, just like I teach my students not to do when you have a dark square bishop.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Super GMs make inferior moves all the time, Otherwise, they would draw every game. They only draw almost every game,
Definitely super GMs can make bad moves in time pressure.
Yeah, Adam, if you have increment, that's not necessarily true. Like, if you have 30-second increment, you have to take notation.
No, you're thinking about, like, a lot of the U.S. chess tournaments with delay.
Yeah.
With 5-second delay. Have that rule.
Yeah, they did have tournaments without clocks. Like, Morphy wasn't playing with a clock, yeah. Morphy was just sitting there bored, while his opponents thought forever. Tough life.
You wish you could take notation when you play at your club? Well, don't you take notation? You can.
Oh, yeah, right. Maybe he's just playing for fun, though. Some people still do take notation if they're playing offhand games.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it at the senior club before.
Yeah. That's right, oh no. That's right. Is it really Morphy's birthday?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
R.I.P. Oh, he took. The engine doesn't like it, but it's still totally winning. It's still -4. Or 3 or so. So it still likes this good enough. And now Radjabov made his 40th move, so he's got the extra hour. He had 50 seconds left otherwise.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
I
And
wish
now
we could
this is
see
the
if
only
he's
winning
writing down
move.
a bunch of moves.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Looks like he was still notating.
Yeah, it did look like that. Yeah, bishop d4 is the only winning move. What's the idea? Knight takes queen a8. Ooh.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's nasty. This is even an idea that I showed you in the game Jobava Mamedyarov. But it was queen a1. He played queen d1 to a1. And it was unstoppable mate. Great game by Jobava. But yeah, this is the only win. He has to do this. And then if knight takes, which you could also try bishop takes. But then bishop takes is rook c1. But then here, targeting the weak king. Well, I'll just go here and defend it, right? Boom, shakalaka. Just like I said a million moves ago. Yeah. But what if I go here and block? I can't check, takes, check, rook blocks. That's okay. For white. Oh, I could take this, I guess. I don't know, this just seems extremely scary and terrible for White. He's not even up material or anything. He's just getting roasted here. Also, if takes, bishop takes, I guess it's rook c1. Let's see if I'm right about that. Bishop takes might be a better move. Now it's knife f5. Putting a lot of pressure. I mean, I would hate to have White here. Look at these knights.
Too. Terrible.
This is terrible. That's all terrible.
It's like every game I ever play.
Terrible. Terrible.
Where I'm just defending,
Yeah.
crying.
Everybody drew except Ding. He might win. He might. Might not. Yeah, if only he didn't die so young. At least 30 seconds, wow. Yeah, bishop takes d4 is the only move, but the evaluation's going, well, I guess down because it's black winning. So it just keeps getting good for black, gooder and gooder.
Yeah, he's figuring it out.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he does it. He's only got 2.5 minutes. He wishes he had that extra hour right now. He only gets it next turn, so it's tough. This is the critical moment. If Ding does this, he could win the game and even have good chances in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty important.
Yeah, this is a tournament-defining moment here. Will he do the move? Will he choke it away? Move 40, only one winning move. This is like, you know, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, down by 3 runs with bases loaded. Yeah, I am hyping it up pretty well, but it's true. Yeah, come on, don't be distracted here. This is the moment. It's got 90 seconds. Come on, Ding. Will he be a hero to all of China and nobody else in the rest of the world? Sitting there, he's thinking about it. He's getting tense. He knows it. He's like, or. That's what he's thinking. He knows he needs to make a move, but he doesn't want to. We've all been there.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's fidgeting a lot. He's about to play it. He's about to play a move. Oh wait, maybe he changed his mind a bit. He was gesturing a bit towards it.
Does the clock match? I can't see.
Yeah, the clock.
From where it matches.
Oh, it's 10 seconds behind.
Okay.
But yeah, this is live. Like, it's a 10-second delay. So
Yeah.
this clock is super accurate.
Okay, yeah, that's surprising. In the past, it wasn't.
Right. His whole life comes down to this one move. 30 seconds left on the webcam. Only 20 in real time. Oh, man. Oh, random move. Too funny. Dang it. Choked it away. Now knight g5 equal, although that is the only equal move. Dang it.
Darn.
Didn't believe it was winning. Yeah. It was legal, that's true. He only had 12 seconds left. Right.
Darn it.
Dang. Tough but fair.
Dang.
Too bad Ding didn't have this hour for that move, huh?
Yeah.
That's what he needed. Yeah, he had to take it. Yeah, still. I mean, he'd be thrilled with this position. He probably was. He probably just didn't think about this one.
Yeah, I think
This
that's what
idea.
he didn't. Yeah, I think that's what he didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could have. I mean, if you see this, it's like, even this. I
Right.
played Queen A8 to be
Seems
cool.
like Queen B7 would be easier to see in a way.
Well, maybe here.
I don't know.
I mean, even, like, this is winning, but it's not immediate. It's like -2. So he could have seen a position like this and thought, why do I need to do this? However, trading away the bishop for knight and leaving black or white with a bad dark square bishop, it's like pretty good positionally speaking. So he could have done it just and not, you know, he could have justified it that way and not had a line for it. Just said, okay, I'll give up the bishop, leave him with a bad bishop. Yeah. Poor Ding. Knight g5, the only move. He played it rather quickly. And chess.com gave it exclam, which is true. Well, queen f1, which I think that's even the point anyway, is the same idea, but worse. But knight g5's the move, yeah. Hanging this pawn. But then queen f1 with some counterplay. Yeah.
Well, darn, it seems like it's going to be a draw now.
Well, anything could happen still.
Yeah.
What if white wins? But yeah, when it says 0.00, probably draw, huh?
Yeah, and...
Hey, is that Hess there?
Maybe he got over his COVID by now.
Yeah. Good old Hess. He's back.
Mm-hmm.
From outer space. Do-do-do-do-do.
Yay.
Yeah. His
Go
bishop was
Hess.
pretty good, yeah. He didn't want to give it up unless he had a good reason. Yeah, white could also blunder. That's true. But now they've both got an hour, so blunders are less likely, but still possible.
Mm-hmm.
Queen f1, knight f5. Well, anyways, it's black's turn. So maybe here, queen f1, knight f5. Okay, but e6 is hanging anyway. I got two knights on it. So white wouldn't mind that too much.
Hey, I'm going to go up into the restroom real quick, and also I need to let
Okay.
the dogs out and feed the dogs.
Okay.
So we got about 5 minutes.
All right, they'll probably agree to a draw by the time we get back.
You think?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seems like it could go on for a bit. All right, I'll be right back.
Right, the build-up was enough even. You know, he didn't even need to play the move. But okay. Yeah, now what will Ding do? He could take the pawn. He could still take the knight. Also, he could consider to put his queen on the diagonal again. Threatening mate in 2. So he's got options here. He'll think forever and play a boring move. That's true. I am the captain now. It's GM Benjamin Feingold. Karen had to leave for a moment to do, you know, dog stuff. Oh, you're on a lunch break, huh? Sort of like Karen. But stop jury tampering, kangaroo. Stop this jury tampering. Why takes... Yeah, I mean, it's not even entirely clear. Just to get this knight against bishop position and try to attack the king on the king side, depending on how they recapture. I mean, even now, like, I would think, can't I just do similar stuff, right? Like, can't I just like the same thing, but now I'm you know, like in the other position it was here. Now white's better. In fact, you have to go here, you're losing. Yeah, I mean, black has to be a little careful. But hold on, we can compare it to the other line, right? You know, we could compare it to the other line. Instead of g6 to take first. Let's say bishop takes. And here, now queen c6 is winning. Because without the knight here, it's not going to be a mating attack. Oh, is it? Here? Wow. So this is why Ding didn't do this. If he considered it, you would be like, but there's no check. Queen c6 covers the check. That's the key move. Right? It's here. If you did this, it's probably not winning. Yeah, in fact, white is mating black. See? So this was a critical point, was that he's going to take with the bishop and play bishop c5 and then attack black's king, but he could handle it in this way with queen c6 covering e8 and running the king up there. I mean, that's not exactly obvious. You know, that's not exactly obvious. But yeah, if we compare that to the game now when we do it, it's not going to be right, I guess. I don't know, but I guess. Like, let's say here, okay, he played g6, so now he could just check and check with the rook. So he actually made it worse. Maybe he was trying to not get mated there, maybe, but it actually turned out he is getting mated harder. When you play king here, I'll play rook h7 mate. So, yeah, it wasn't very easy to understand or calculate. He probably did calculate and understand a lot there, but again, he only had a minute or so, and again, I'm distracted by the chess.com advertisement. They're dancing, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, queen a8. Well, maybe queen a8 was winning too then in that position, yeah. In that line. That's possible. But yeah, he has to cover e8 is the point. Queen c6 also covered e6, so c6 might be somewhat necessary. Although I remember the computer didn't say that queen c6 was the only move. Has Ding ever had a good candidates tournament? I mean, Ding doesn't win a lot of tournaments. Anyway, he's just more of a solid dude who, like, draws a lot than wins occasionally. Sort of like Wesley. Sort of like Wesley. But, you know, Ding wins a tournament here and there. You know. It's not like he's never won a tournament his whole life. Even I've won tournaments. My opponents are pretty weak, though. But, you know. Yeah, but now Ding has multiple things to do. The engine line is this, and then that. And in chat we were talking about this move, but I didn't like it, because this is hanging, and then that's hanging. Also, this move just loses a piece, because I can take the knight, and then take the bishop, or take the other knight. So you gotta take this now. You have to do it. It's the only move. But we can just move out of the way. Check is okay, I guess. It's the only move, though. So we might as well look at it. And then anywhere that's legal with the king is fine. Not here, though, because Forktown, right? Still, it seems like black could have some initiative here. But, okay, he has problems because the knight's hanging and this is a threat, too. But here you can threaten mate. So I don't have time to do this. You can't do that until I move my knight. You got no check. You have to actually go back to stop the mate. And then the engine recommends some repetition for a draw, which could happen. Yeah. Yeah, humble brag there. Humble brag. Right. Yeah, Ding and Wesley are super solid. They're two of the most solid players around. Really. Yeah, somebody does have to be the winner, I guess. Unless it's a tie, right? But for this tournament, somebody has to be a winner. Yeah, there was a lot of drama, T-Bone. I mean, Nakamura should have won, but Nepo defended too good. Ding should have won this game, probably. Now it looks like he's not going to, perhaps. Perhaps not. And Fabi Rapor was all crazy, but nobody was ever winning. I don't know. Ding might disagree with that. Schneider. Ding might disagree with that. But yeah, if you give him a win, he'll find it. But these wins are not easy to find. You know. Oh, a snack? So I did some more analysis to figure out the deal here.
Yeah.
And so here's what Ding was thinking about. He didn't want to do this because after here, he's got a problem with his king. He's going to check, and then here, and I'll either trade queens or mate your king. But
where's the... What? Give me an example. I
like
see
if
a
you
bad
go
example.
here
Okay.
to do like how we did,
Yeah.
check, check.
Okay. Starts to get...
Mate. But Ding can play a precise move here, protecting e8. So that after this and here, he just does this and he's winning now. This is the winning idea. Everything on the light squares, huh? That's how you do it. Oh, if only this pawn. But yeah, good white square control. There's no check. And now you're just going to lose. I'm going to go ham on you right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hard right now. I'm going to go ham right now. What if I go... Okay, but rook c2. Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, no counterattack, and the floodgates open. In the game, because he played g6, knight g5, now it's not as good. If you do it like this, let's say we do all the same moves. Now, okay, this would even just lose, because I check and I play rook check.
Oh, yeah.
But now the point is that your king is so weak, you have to either trade queens, which you didn't want to do. You wanted to mate me, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Or get mated yourself, which you never want to do. Usually. So, Oh, I mean, like, definitely there's a lot of, like, psychology in a tournament this important, yeah. I would say. The water's Deer Park. Karen's favorite brand.
Well, I like them because they come in the small ones.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now Ding's gonna think forever. Did we do all the recaps? Maybe this one we didn't do, right? Naka.
Yeah, I just remember two.
Yeah, so we'll just run this one down real quick. It was another Petrov, Naka, Nepo. Yeah, old main line here. Old main line. They thought about it a bit. Even up to this point, Nepo thought for a long time to play the most common move, but I think he knew it. He's just thinking, you know. And here, Hikaru played an unusual move. This position's been reached many times. Anybody who's familiar with, like, Anand Kramnik games and Kramnik Leko and Leko Kramnik, they have positions like this all the time in the 2000s and 90s, late 90s. Rook A2 was an unusual move with the same-ish idea of sliding it on over. Always play bishop f8. That was good. C takes. I thought that was a little weird because why would you play rook a2 and take? But anyways, he wanted to do this. And queen e4. The engine didn't like this at first, but I think it's okay. And now here Nepo made a mistake and he's losing with queen g4. The rest of the game he played perfectly. And also before this move he played perfectly. This is his only mistake the whole game. Well, maybe queen e4, but that's no problem really. He should have gone over here and started targeting white. He probably didn't like that, well, we got to trade to make sure our pawn stays defended. But he probably didn't like that something like this, and then I could play like d5, etc. Or even I could do this. But still, Nepo's got enough counterplay that the engine says it's only slightly better for white. You know, it could even do this, though. You know, some crazy stuff here than this. Oh, right, deflect the rook away from the knight, right? So our knight's never hanging. But anyways, he didn't play queen b1. It would have been sharp, but okay for black. Instead, he played queen g4, which is a mistake because after he kicked it, well, his queen doesn't have a great square. You know, if you go here, you get forked. But either way, I'm going to push all your guys back. I'm going to kick your knight. I'm going to kick your bishop. And I'm going to double rooks. And white is very active, has a lot of play in the center with his hanging pawns, and every move's coming with a tempo. So this is the problem for black. It's not clear that it's enough to lose, but the engine says it is. They trade it. That's what he did. And then he went here. This is right. Wait, actually, let's do it like this. There we go. This is correct. All correct play by Nepo. Great move here, queen d3. Not immediately queen b1. Not immediately queen b1. Then I'll kick your knight to save my pawn, which will be hanging later. After your knight moves, I'll fork you. And then I'll pick up your pawn for not enough compensation. But that's why Nepomniachtchi played queen d3 in that position. Nice move. Now, after rook e3, then he played queen b1. He took a little pit stop, right, on d3. Mm-hmm. Now you can't play rook b2 anymore in any variation. And rook b3 hangs the rook. So great defense by Nepo. He's still lost objectively. Hikaru has a lot of good moves here. Knight d4 is good. Even g4 might win. He can't take the knight because the bishop's hanging on c1. But here he played slightly inaccurately. I think he got infatuated with this idea and tried to get his knight to c6. Provoke b6 and then get his knight there. And so that's what he ended up doing, but then we'll see the game quickly ends in a draw after that. After knight d2. This is probably inaccurate. This was a good defense, queen f6. Don't repeat, because then Nakamura could fix his mistake and play knight d4. Even though he had to, he did it like this. But it didn't matter because he went here and here. So after playing queen f6, he doesn't allow that, to Nakamura to rectify that. And now, great defense by Nepo. In fact, Nakamura doesn't really have any initiative way to continue. He just has to keep building. G3, bishop, G2. Again, eventually, the hanging pawns will burst forward in, this kind of active way, dynamic way. But he still needs to build a little bit more before he proves that it's a win. The engine evaluation is like a pawn and a half, so it's pretty close. It probably wins with perfect play, but you have to be really precise here, and set it up. Even like this is a good idea. I mean, black's pretty passive. Mm-hmm. Black is pretty passive. But instead, he still went on with his idea, and the problem is he just got bishop d7, and there wasn't anything he could do about this. I mean, you could move your knight away again, but you moved your knight like 10 times to do nothing. So he just actually, they found a way to repeat like this for the draw. Yeah. So, yeah, Nakamura choked it a bit. It wasn't like a clean win, but I thought he was going to do well there. He had all those ideas. I mean, Hikaru can calculate very accurately, and he understands the position deeply. But he came up with the wrong idea here, maneuvering the knight to c6 like that. After bishop d7, you just have to move it again, or lose a pawn, or perpetual the queen, I guess, which is what he chose. Because the queen wants to stay attacking the knight. The queen doesn't want to run away somewhere else, and then Nakamura can do something now.
Right.
So, wasn't the best technique there. But great defense by Nepo. He only made one mistake, and then he defended perfectly the rest of the game. So, tough but fair. And finally, after all that, Ding did play bishop takes d4. The move he should have played last move.
Yeah.
If only he had the time. He thought for 18 minutes. If he thought for 18 minutes on this move, he would have done it. But he couldn't because he only had 2.5 minutes. Dang. Tough stuff.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is true, Scottish Demon Goat.
You want the Russian dude to win and Naka get second.
Wait, Naka doesn't work for the evil empire? Oh, I should have said Nepo's not from the USA. All right, so he did play bishop takes to go here. Yeah, and then he'll do this. I mean, they might just draw this pretty quickly. They might just draw this pretty quickly. I don't know. Because there was some repetition line. I don't remember what it was. It was like Black's queen was getting in here and White had to defend.
That's what I said you were probably doing, was sitting around waiting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can't believe FIDE is a country now.
Right, right. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Well, mercy is true strength. That is true. No stream snack time, huh?
This is a little hot. It's making me want to cough.
Some like it hot.
Ding was away from classical for 3 years. Maybe out of practice. Well, a lot of people were away from it
Yeah,
for
he's not the only one.
a while, and then they had a lot of those online tournaments, which he did participate in. But maybe he did miss more than the others. It seems like he did. I can't remember.
That's probably true.
They have stricter COVID protocols.
Yeah. Poor Ding. But you know who is really hurt the most as far as their chess career is Firouzja. You know, Firouzja basically lost all this time he could have been playing over-the-board tournaments.
Yeah, because he's at that age where he's, really going up.
Oh, you got it. I can't read your name because it's in black, but yeah. What is it? Anyways, you're welcome. Whoever you are. Sajuk.
Or Sajuk.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. Just trying to entertain the masses.
Bye,
you know?
James. See you.
You got it, buddy. Take it easy.
Well, so far, Pete Schneider, Ben is just waiting. He hasn't been selected for anything.
Right.
He's not a particular case yet. Well, I guess it is a particular case, but they're selecting the jury. So they got tons of people sitting around. Oh, it's a civil trial?
But there's nothing civil about it.
Nothing is as exciting as the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard case.
Good old Johnny. Oh, it's Grandmaster Gus gifting a sub.
Yay, Grandmaster Gus.
Thank you, Grandmaster Gus. Potentially. All right, now Ding has decided that he was winning, but, you know, he messed it up, so now he'll never move. That's the way to do it. But I remember I was looking at, I think it was this, and then was it still here? No, I guess I didn't look at this line. Oh, this is, like, playable. I thought I could block here. But there's this, because the rook's hanging.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, even this is kind of tough. Even here you can still do this, because it's pinned. But at least the guy's defended, and then you could take with the knight to not lose your knight.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, white survived, right? Still, I like black's knight's better than this bishop. And the queen's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
But, you know, what are you going to do? His bishop's fine. His queen's solid. Knight e4 is going to be okay. Or maybe knight f3 because the pawn's hanging. Although this pawn would be... No, that pawn's not hanging. So, yeah. He'll be all right. Don't nobody worry about him. Oh, no, 13%.
So you're still out in the waiting room, Ben?
Right. Can he hear us even?
Well, I think he's out for lunch right now, actually. But I just meant all this time he's been in the waiting room, I think.
Now he could play rook d1 because there's no fork. And if you sacrifice, the queen gets out of the fork. Right. Does he have to play this? No, right? He could play this. Uh-huh. Looks kind of tough for white, but the engine says equal. Just give that up, because the rook will come in with counterplay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, Radjabov, like, is not in trouble, even, because he can play multiple moves, and the endgame's not bad. Like, only thing that's bad is allowing mate. Right? Like, even if you, like, stay in the middle game but don't allow mate in 2, it's still not that bad. Because this pawn's kind of weak, too. Even if you play knight f5, you can't move your knight. And this pawn's hanging, too. So, yeah, like I said, if you stay in the middle game and don't get mated, white's okay. But even trading to the endgame is alright, too, because white's so active. Somehow it's just okay for Radjabov here. Wedding room.
These chips are good.
Right.
My mouth is on fire.
This mouth is on fire. If Magnus doesn't play, then the first and second place in this tournament will play against each other. I don't know, like, if it were me, then I would just say that, like, whoever wins the tournament is the champion. If Magnus doesn't play. I'm not saying I'd be thrilled with that result. That just seems like the most fair. Like, I'd like to see a world championship match.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder what they'll do if he refuses.
Oh, one place, two, the first two.
They've already said that?
Yeah,
The two
yeah.
candidates? But okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
they've
what
already.
they said.
Yeah, they already made that official.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they want the spectacle, but
Well, hopefully Magnus will play whoever.
yeah, I think he will. He's just talking.
Whomever.
That's what I think. Yeah, but what if, like, the guy who comes in second, you know, wins the world championship match? You know, like, they really shouldn't have been there, even, and now they're world champion. You know, didn't even win a candidates match. How many world champions have never won a candidates? Like, you'd have to go back to, you know, the Stone Age with Steinitz and friends. Or, you know, since before the candidate cycle was invented, I'd imagine. Oh, there has been at least one tournament, at least, where the world champion was decided by the tournament.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I thought that would be more sort of fair, I guess, to the winner of the candidates. Anand, of course, right?
It'd be weird to win,
Right.
you know, without... Either way is weird. It's weird to
Yeah.
win, like, without playing somebody to win the
Yeah,
championship.
that's also true, right?
So, I don't know. It's just... Hopefully... I'd like to see Magnus play and then retire would be the best way. But
Yeah.
I know he's burnt out.
I mean, I'd like Magnus to just eventually lose, you know, and then continue his life from there, you know? Sort of the natural way.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to... He's tired of playing, so it wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense to do something you hate doing until you lose it. Like, you just seems like he's.
I don't know. I mean,
interested.
makes $1 million each time. I'll do something I hate for $1 million.
I certainly would too, but he's got a lot of money.
That's true. That's true.
So at some point, you have to sort of look at your life and say, I can do this thing I hate and make a lot of money, or I can have plenty of money and go play poker.
Yeah,
or
plus he
something
can
else.
make some money some other way.
Yeah, like poker.
Dang, Yasser the Lasker said Casablanca would be champ. Wow, the movie? It's a pretty good movie, but I don't think it would be world chess champion. Ding is currently number 2. Yeah. Why would he be the best candidate? Like, 3 months ago he wasn't the second rated. Like numbers 2 through 5 are always like pretty close. And even beyond that.
Thank you for asking, P. Schneider. When I went upstairs
Spicy.
to feed the dogs, let's see if you can see.
Yeah, you can see it. Super spicy salsa.
I cut up a whole bunch of jalapenos into the salsa because it's never hot enough for me. And now I'm suffering a little.
Yeah.
The jalapenos are pretty spicy.
She's just so sad that Ding didn't win this,
Thank you for asking. I am crying a little. It seems like Magnus is bored of chess.
Me too. Me too.
I mean, what challenge is left for him? He's been world champion several times. And it's a huge grind to stay at the top. It's not like he can just sit around with his feet up. He has to still study and prepare and do tactics like any Joe at the bottom. He has to do things to keep his mind engaged with it.
Well, he could aim for the most years being world champion.
That's true. That would be one goal.
He could go for some, arbitrary kind of thing like that. I mean, it doesn't. Comparing cross generation is kind of silly.
Right. I agree.
When Lasker was world champion for 29 years, it wasn't like this.
Right. Wasn't as competitive.
Or 27 years, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We love you too. He's at jury duty, or is being jury selection maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Harik, Iran. Yeah, he's waiting. He's in the wedding room. He's in the wedding room, awaiting to be selected or rejected from a civil case.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times you'll wait all day and then they don't need you after all, and you just go home.
Mm-hmm. That's my kind of jury.
You never get out of the waiting room.
It's just Twitch branding.
Yeah, I think it was an accident. We didn't even change the color of the board. Ben likes to change it every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think about it.
Oh yeah, I remember those streams. Endeavoring.
Yeah, Endeavoring. Those were great streams.
With the Nun book and
Yeah,
the
they're
Silman book.
Very educational.
I felt like they would never end. But then they both did, I guess.
They did go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, Pillsbury and Akiba were both pretty good. Good old Akiba. He definitely could have lost to Rubinstein, yeah. Pillsbury, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Pillsbury didn't have as much clout, But I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time studying those old games, A little bit here and there, but.
You bought the Nun middle game book and went through it in J. Crispy?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Ding messed this up. That's true. But he only had 2 minutes to make the critical move, so
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want to be world champion, you got to play the move. Pillsbury made that dough. Yeah, he took the cake. That's all true. Let's see, knight c6. So now, I wanted to play. I was actually concerned about this, but the engine wanted to go here. Now it doesn't. It plays random move. Well, it's not too random, but you know. It was just like here, and then I could play rook d6. Yeah, it likes this too still. It says this is just equal. Attack all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a bunch of stuff here.
All everything's on that rank.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's like a very active defense. But Radjabov doesn't have to. He could play... Even the engine likes this move too, bishop g1. Same idea. But if you're going to move your bishop, you'd probably go here, I guess. You wouldn't go there, would you? Doesn't seem too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem too aggressive. I mean, you're super paranoid this will happen, you know. Even though your rook and knight are here. So you have to go there to stop it a third time. Yeah. No, I would think black's better here, but the engine just says 0.00. Which, when we were looking at this before, it was a little surprising to me. Because black's bishop's bad, or white's bishop's bad, you know. But yeah, if he plays bishop c5, rook d6, he won't have any problems. So Radjabov will definitely draw this.
Grandmaster Gus coming with the never before heard joke.
Right, right.
I'll stand. Stuck in the groove.
Yeah, usually in China they say the family name first. So you can call him Ding or Liren. I don't think he'd mind. You know, either way. Good old Ding. Liren. I mean, Liren. Oh. Ner! You made it. Just in time to see the last game draw. That's the way to do it.
Hey, Ner, how's it going?
Right, and yeah, and anyways, sometimes we say the other names of all the other candidates, right? Yeah, this is maybe it might be the second most exciting game in chess history. It might be.
Man, this could go on another hour.
Right. I mean, it's 100% going to draw, too. Like, there's no way they're not going to draw this.
Seems like they could wrap it up since it's going to draw.
Well, black would never agree to a draw, though. It's too bad. I wish it was like a little bit more boring. Then they could just wrap it up. Wrap that gavel up. Hey, he did play what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could wrap up quickly, though, if they start trading stuff. Like, they trade here, and then he takes pawns, and then you take pawns. Oh, it's an internet thing here, huh, for a second. Right, right.
So it's both computers.
Okay, but we're back.
I think we didn't lose it all the way.
Or I think we might have dropped a little frames there, but only 0.7%. So that's pretty good. Yeah, come on, internet.
Terrible. Okay, yeah, I don't know what, we'll have to look into this further.
Right, you have to call the people and yell at them.
Yeah, I gotta call him.
Radjabov goes for the dirty flag. Is that right? There's still no increment, so maybe. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to get home. I have to eat before my 6 lessons. Luckily, I have 3, and then an hour break, and then 3. It's like perfect. That's exactly how I would do it.
Well, Spencer's been doing the recaps, but Ben's also going to do some for YouTube when he gets back. So
yeah.
You got both.
One for each of you. How's it going, Welch's grape juice?
Yeah, we couldn't go eat now. It's too late. Darn.
It's too late.
Well, if it ended right now, we could.
Right. Come on, Ding, offer draw. It's 140, shorty. Let's see, Engine likes 95 and Rook C3. Rook C3 looks like a good move, but you'd imagine 95. Well, maybe he'll play Rook C3 to try to win a little bit. But still, it seems like white can't possibly be worse, actually. I mean, I'll take this pawn. I'll take that pawn. My pieces are super active. I'm not even going to be down material after Rook C3, Knight G5. Or even Rook C3, Rook D6, because it attacks the knight.
All those pawns are so vulnerable, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ding honestly could offer a draw, but probably won't. It would be a little rude of Radjabov to offer a draw. I guess he could. But... Never play F6. Never play Queen D2. Is that one? What's my favorite Ben joke? You mean like of his standard jokes? Or like a one-time joke that he told? I don't know. It's tough. I'll have to think about that one. He's got a lot of jokes to choose from, you know?
He roasted Hikaru to dust.
Yeah. That is a good point, C.L. Smith, yeah. A standard joke. Oh, I don't know. Because a lot of them are just Simpsons jokes, you know? Or like some cartoon. I still haven't even said one, though, Tensor. I still haven't even said one. I can't think of a... You're putting me on the spot here. I'll have to be like Nepo and think really hard and then figure out the right answer. Alright, yeah, did he get all nice and dressed up for jury duty? Only Karen would know.
I'm trying to remember. I was half asleep when he left. Well, Ben always wears pants. You know, always dresses nicely. But I didn't see a tie.
Right. Maybe he meant, is he wearing Thai food? Then yes. Come on, Ding, just give it up. Just resign. Oh, he did take. Yeah, this is like a more like solid way to go. Rook C3 is like a little tricky, but I think he figures there's nothing to do there. And so they might wrap it up right soon. Like, what if I just trade knights even... Okay, Rook D6, but what if I just trade and play Rook E2? That wins back the pawn.
Right, yeah.
Unless you'll go here, takes, and Rook C2. But I can always play Bishop G1. And then if you go there, I can protect it. So the mating pattern is never forced. I don't think. Unless you get really out of position with your bishop and rook. But seems like there was no way. Yeah, Ding was winning. But it wasn't necessarily easy. It's not like he missed an easy win. I think kind of Hikaru had an easier win. Not that he was immediately winning, but his position, he just had so many good ideas. And he picked the wrong one.
Yeah. Sacked the queen for smothered mate.
Yeah, he'll do that. Anybody will do that, really.
I'm not sure who did it. Nepo?
No, it's my dad, right?
Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
The chess is funny sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, one of GM Ben Feingold's funniest mates.
there. Takes. There. Takes. I was just wondering if I could, like, do this line where I'm sacking the exchange if you threaten me. But I don't want to do that because then you'll win my A pawn. Like, if these pawns were traded, I would totally do that. I would just trade here. Rook e2, knight back. Take this. You'll threaten mate. Then I'll just take check and take the knight. Then I'll have these 3 pawns and a bishop against this 1 pawn. But with these pawns still here, then black can take this pawn, then play a5 and try to win. So he can't sack the exchange to force a draw. Or even white would be better in that case. But with the a pawns on the board, it's still chances for black there. Maybe even winning.
Yeah.
Chess is the cruelest game. That's true.
I need to stop eating these jalapenos.
Yeah.
I'm one of Benjamin Feingold's funniest mates. Karen is.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how the other ladies stack up.
Yeah. As opposed to their comedy?
Yeah.
Or in regards to their comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kelly wasn't exactly a Stitch.
Too dumb.
But she was something that rhymes with that. But I don't know. My mom was like pretty funny, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't talked to her in decades, so
Right.
hard to know now. Come on, Rajabov, just move. Just offer a draw. It's like what the chat's think. Just offer a draw. It's like a Danny interview outside.
Yeah, it looks like we're dropping some frames. I think we came back though.
Yeah, whatevs. Nothing's happening.
I like Ben and Rosen collaborations are always good.
Mm-hmm.
They have good chemistry.
Yeah, that's true.
That reminds me, I never got the video from him for the sub battle.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said he was gonna
Well, so long ago.
Dropbox it, and then I texted him, and then radio silence. If you're out there, Eric, I need that video. I'm gonna just text him.
What's less likely, Furusha winning the tournament or Rajabov winning a game? Funny question, but I guess Furusha is less likely. But I don't really see Rajabov winning a game. Oh, he took it. So the guy will take back, which he did, and then I assume rook e2. I was thinking rook e2, knight g4 takes rook c2. Pretending like it's mate. But like I said, you always have this move. And then if rook c1, we can protect our bishop. Which should be alright. We don't have to worry about knight checks, by the way, when our king is there, because the bishop covers all the checks, actually. It even covers I3 over here. So he did play this. The engine actually likes knight d3. Man, that's really a draw offer. Geez, trade everything, why don't you? But how can black even pretend to be better in any of these lines? I mean, I guess in the mate line, if you checkmate them, you could pretend to be better.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as they don't allow mate in 1, because they could play bishop g1, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I didn't originally see bishop g1.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask that, so.
Yeah, because otherwise you're stuck, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise you're done for. Yeah, let's see here. That's the move. Bishop g1, the only move. Like I was saying, if these pawns weren't here, you could do this and then this, and you're not going to lose now. But you will lose now because this is... You can just take it. Also, this move is strong. This move is strong because then you can go here and then take it. So the presence of the A-pawns, black wins easily this position. But without the A-pawns, should draw. Unless this would win. That might win if the A-pawns were gone, right?
Yeah.
So it's still, yeah, it still wasn't winning. Right? Or it still was winning, you know. So yeah, you have to play bishop g1. You can't sack the exchange ever. Tough but fair.
Andres Toth is pretty funny.
I have a student who plays against Andres a lot on their stream.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I guess stream.
On his stream?
Yeah, on Andres' stream.
Oh. Yeah,
Also.
I saw him doing commentary, I think maybe for chess.com. But I've never been on his personal stream.
Mm-hmm. So Ding goes for the more drawish way. Now you have to do this. Which you'd have to do anyway, I guess. And then that.
Hey, Duacapis, thank you.
And so on.
I'm eating some chips
Good old chips.
with salsa with jalapenos.
Good old salsa. It's a great food and dance. Not a lot of foods are good dances, but that's one of
true.
them. Oh, the twist, is that kind of food? You do that
Twist
too?
a lime?
Yeah, a twist a lime. Chips are fires. I think you meant fries. And no, those are called fries. Unless you did mean fires. In which case you might be right, because these are pretty spicy. What's going on here? Radjabov's not even at the board. You know? Oh. Somehow he moved even though he's not at the board. Yeah, takes, and then that. And then we'll take the A-pawn. Oh, now they're banging out moves. Yeah, because he's back. And then this, and now, geez. Rook B6, Rook C3, or Rook A5, Rook C3. Also, Rook A7 check, Rook A6 check. Yeah, probably I'd go here. You could also do this, threatening that. So they'll go here, and then takes. A million ways to try to draw this. They'll find the coolest way. You could try A4. They already agreed, I guess, right? Yeah, they already agreed here.
Oh,
they didn't do anything, yeah. They just agreed.
Oh, yeah, we can look
draw.
in the
It says
video
draw here.
there.
And yeah, in the video, well, they're still making moves in the video,
Yeah.
so they must have drawn within the last 10 seconds or so. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yep, you see the handshake on the camera. And that'll be that.
Cool. Do you want to do a quick recap?
Of this one? Yeah.
And then we'll discuss whether lunch is even possible. When do you have to start doing stuff?
3. So I only got an hour.
Yeah, it's iffy.
I mean, I could still.
I have to be somewhere at
3:30, right?
And it says...
So it's a Bogo Indian, which was surprising to me. He played knight d2, by the way. That's an aggressive way. Instead of, like, bishop d2. It's a little bit more solid. But he wants to prove the bishop was wrong here. Which he didn't. He didn't. I mean, it seemed like white should be slightly better here, usually. But he didn't really get a better position. He just did nothing. And then they, like, got a pretty solid, boring position. But then, e4 was good, but Radjabov started to press here. Like, f4 I thought was risky. The engine didn't hate it. But I thought he was going to do this, but instead he just kept playing the position. But now he's got weaknesses because he played f4. And Ding just started outplaying him. Building. And here's the real problem with h3. Now his kingside's going to be too weak. This is a big mistake. He's not doing too badly if he does nothing. Rook e1, b4, which I hate that move, but, you know, to play knight b3. But he played this, then after some repetition, because always repeat. Ding proved why it was wrong. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to break you up. It was so scary that he played h4 himself, engine defense, but now look at that.
Yeah.
And then he puts all his pawns on dark squares. That's not right. By the way, knight f6 is the only move to be better. Always repeat. And then here, I loved how he kept moving his rook back and forth and his knight back and forth. Knight b3. Again, this is anti-positional kind of, but he has to do a thing. And knight b3 to try to get the knight in could be a viable candidate. This move was wrong because knight f5 is actually okay for white. He has to see some moves here. I mean, you don't have to play knight g6 here, but it's good to do it like this. And he loses the pawn, but when this is your pawn structure, even if he gets this break in, it's still 3 against 2. Should be holdable. Black's only slightly better after this move. This is actually the only move, though. I guess because there's some threats, too, right? So, it's still, he had to calculate this precisely with knight f5. Ding probably thought it was no problem, and he's still better there. And for the record, he should have, avoided this idea by moving his queen or knight. But instead he went here, and then he should have done it. As it turns out, that's okay, but instead he played here. And now Ding is strategically winning again. Queen c8, genius move. In fact, he has to move his king back now, but instead he played really anti-positional move here. Where, by the way, Ding took, which is like kind of a mistake, but here he doesn't have to do anything and he's winning. Bad bishop, all pawns on dark squares. Good bishop, all pawns on light squares. And also, the knight is great. This knight's going to be great. The white square control, he's completely dominating the white squares. But maybe he thought he couldn't make progress, or there's some line he's concerned about like this, probably. But anyways, what he did was good. He played fe. That was good. But he has to take the knight here. It's actually pretty delicate. The idea is that after you take, he's going to play bishop c5 and try to counterattack you with like either a mate or a queen trade, either of which black does not want to see. But that's why black has a very precise move here to protect e8, so that in this variation, there's no check for white, and black's gearing up for a big check of his own, which is not easy to stop. Even if you use the rook, I'll go here, and then what? You know, here, hang your queen, or hang your knight. Then if you check, I can escape, because there's no knight. Takes, just back it up. I mean, I'll do whatever I can if I'm up a piece to just be up a piece and win. So this was winning, but Ding only had like 2 minutes here, and it's move 40. It's exactly move 40. Oh, he did have 5 minutes, according to the thing here. He did have 5 minutes, but still, he had to think for a long time, and he just played a rando move, kind of. Well, it's not entirely random, but now he wasn't winning for the rest of the game. He still did take, and now if you try to go on the diagonal, like this or something, you know, he will just, well, it's threatening mate right now, but he will move the bishop and make a threat here. Like the other line, it was to go here first and then this. You know, this is the point. You can't make a threat now because I'm actually mating you. So the bishop takes knight had to be played at the right time. But here, it's not right. He's got an extra move to, because he's got knight g5 and g6 inserted. Basically got this move for free. And then white's counterplay against black's king was enough to hold. He did go like this to threaten mate, but now you can just block it. Remember, last time there was a knight here, so he couldn't do that.
Right.
So getting that extra tempo was helpful, and then they just petered it out to a draw. Which both sides could have done multiple things here to draw, but they found a pretty solid way to do it. And I was assuming they would find a way to trade pawns here, but they just agreed to a draw. Pedestrians.
They're probably tired.
Yeah, so that was like a little topsy-turvy. Ding should have won it. It was messy, but he should have won it. If only he had played one more move, and it was move 41 when he could have thought forever about bishop takes d4. But yeah,
all right.
that'll do it.
Cool. Thank you for all those great recaps.
Absolutely.
I think we can end the stream now.
Yeah.
Since you have to get somewhere, and I do too. And then look later on YouTube channel. Ben is going to do the recaps. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. And
Who are we gonna raid?
let's see who we've got.
Who are you gonna get? Ghostbusters.
Because a lot of people are going to get off now because they've been streaming all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want to do any of
Right.
these. But it's tough. There's nobody on here.
Am I tough enough?
Well, let's go ahead and do.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Just making sure I spelled it right. It seems like I did. Take it easy, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.